Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished academics, students, and viewers around the world. I stand before you today not in the hall I was originally scheduled to address, but in the court of public opinion, where truth, integrity, and the future of our nation reside. The fact that I am delivering this keynote remotely and not at UPSA, the University of Professional Studies, Accra, reflects a disturbing reality: the erosion of academic freedom. This government's pressure to silence me for speaking truth to power is not just an attack on me. It is an attack on the principles of free inquiry and critical thought that anchor any meaningful educational system. This incident is not isolated. It is part of a broader pattern. We saw it in the failed public university bill that sought to increase government control over tertiary institutions. Fortunately, that bill was defeated, but the intent remains. Academic freedom is the soul of innovation, research, and national progress. Without it, we lose not just voices, but the very foundation upon which a nation can build a brighter future. The stakes could not be higher for Africa. According to the World Bank, every additional year of tertiary education increases an individual's earnings by 17%. In addition, it significantly boosts national economic growth. Countries with robust tertiary educational systems have been shown to experience improved innovation, greater institutional stability, and reduced poverty. For example, studies have shown that tertiary education directly correlates with reductions in income inequality and advancements in public health outcomes. Yet in Africa, we continue to punch below our weight. Gross enrollment ratios remain low compared to global averages. As of 2022, only 9% of Africa's youth were enrolled in tertiary institutions. Compare that to the global average of 38%. And this gap is not merely academic. It is social, it is economic, and it is existential. Even when we educate, are we merely producing or consuming knowledge? The data is stark. Africa, despite having 17% of global population, we account for only 1.1% of global research output. 1.1%. Compare this to Europe, which produces nearly 27% of global research, or Asia's rapid rise in scientific contributions. This disparity reflects investment gaps. In the United States, government investment in research and development consistently exceeds 2.7% of GDP. In Europe, nations like Germany allocate over 3.1% of GDP to R&D. Asian frontrunners like South Korea and China invest 4%, 4.8%, and 2.4% of GDP respectively into academic and industrial research. Meanwhile, Africa's average investment stands at a mere 0.4% of GDP. 0.4% of GDP. Nigeria, for example, allocates less than 0.02%. In Ghana, our research investment remains alarmingly low. Despite being a beacon of democracy and stability, we only spend 0.34% of GDP on R&D, way below the African Union's target of 1%. And this has consequences. Universities struggle to fund research projects, cutting-edge discoveries remain unrealized, and partnerships with industry are underdeveloped. The result, as a country, Ghana, we risk falling behind, further behind, in our global competitiveness. To reverse this, we need concrete actions. One, from government, we need our government to commit to meeting the African Union's 1% of GDP target for R&D funding. We need to establish a national research fund to finance innovative university projects with measurable social impact. And as a government, we also need to provide tax incentives for businesses that will invest in university-led research, especially in technology, in AI, in quantum computing. For industry, industry needs to partner with Ghanaian universities so they can fund applied research that will solve our local problems in agriculture, in energy, in health, among others. Industry needs to also help create innovation hubs on campuses that can translate academic research into commercial solutions. And industry needs to support mentorship programs to link students with industry professionals so that they can help prepare them for the future workforce. For universities, we need to develop specialized research centers focusing on areas like artificial intelligence, renewable energy, and biotechnology with tailored funding mechanisms. We urgently need to introduce interdisciplinary programs that combine technology, entrepreneurship, and social sciences to foster innovation. And we must leverage Ghana's digital transformation strategy to integrate AI and quantum computing education into our curricula. But it's not just about infrastructure and funding. We also need to develop a culture of curiosity. We need to move away from rote learning to problem solving, critical thinking, and creativity. This is not just a policy decision, but a mindset shift. At Ashesi University here in Ghana, where I proudly serve as its chair, we see a clear model of innovation-driven education. Ashesi has created a curriculum that prioritizes critical thinking, ethics, and entrepreneurship. The university's emphasis on practical problem solving has produced graduates who are building businesses, driving social change, doing leadership work in climate, and contributing ultimately to Africa's knowledge economy. Ashesi's robotics lab, for example, and the focus on technology and leadership, it demonstrates what is possible when a university invests in producing solutions to our problems and not just producing degrees. Ashesi is a clear example that when universities are free to innovate, to invest, and to collaborate, they can transform societies and produce knowledge that drives global progress. The revolution of AI, we already know AI is here and it's already reshaping the global economy. AI is not just going to automate jobs, it's going to create new industries. A report from PwC estimated that AI could contribute up to $15.7 trillion to the global economy by 2030. Not too far off. What are we doing as a continent? Africa, we must position ourselves to claim our share of this future. We can't allow ourselves to once again be relegated to the margins. AI is going to impact sectors that define our economies: healthcare, agriculture, education, finance. In Ghana, AI holds immense potential. For example, AI-driven tools can revolutionize agriculture. And this is an industry that employs about 40% of our population. Predictive analytics can help farmers optimize their crop yields, manage their resources more efficiently, and help mitigate the impacts of climate change. But Africa cannot be a passive participant. We have to actively do the work now to train our youth to code, to design algorithms, and to develop AI solutions that are relevant to our challenges. While AI education, I'm pushing for this at a tertiary level, it must trickle down to primary schools. And if we look at what's happening in our tech hubs, Nairobi, Lagos, Cape Town, and even here in Accra, we see what is possible when talent meets opportunity. Because we know that talent is evenly distributed. It's opportunity that is not. climate change remains one of the greatest existential challenges of our time. And Ghana's development cannot be decoupled from its environmental sustainability. We've already seen firsthand the devastating impact of Galamsey on our environment, on our water bodies. We saw earlier this year air pollution skyrocket to unprecedented levels. At one point, Ghana had a higher air pollution than Beijing or New Delhi. I mean, truly unbelievable. Rising temperatures, unpredictable rainfall, and desertification. These things threaten our food security, our public health, and our economic growth. This is a challenge that requires universities, industries, and governments to work together to tackle this crisis through research and innovation. Because we're disproportionately affected as Africans. Even though we contribute the lowest amount of global emissions, we stand to be disproportionately impacted. One, research focus. Our universities must prioritize climate-related research, looking at areas like renewable energy, waste management, and sustainable agriculture. Two, technology deployment. Industries need to partner to scale up renewable energy projects like solar farms and green innovations that will help us reduce emissions. And three, government action. Our policymakers must incentivize green technology and enforce sustainable practices across sectors, especially in mining, construction, and agriculture. And government must lead by example. We need to have a green government. Our universities, with our immense talent pools, we must drive solutions like AI-powered climate models, renewable energy innovations, and tools for carbon sequestration. The solution for the climate challenges. Some of these solutions must come from our universities. We have the talent. We need to add the resources to enable this to happen. While AI is transforming the present, quantum computing is the gateway to the future. With the ability to process data exponentially faster than classical computers, quantum computing could revolutionize medicine, cryptography, logistics, and climate modeling, speaking of climate. But as a continent, Africa, we cannot repeat past mistakes of arriving late to the technological revolutions. We missed the early days of the Industrial Revolution and the Digital Revolution. Let us not miss the quantum era. And Ghana has an opportunity to become a leader in this space. Strategic investments in quantum computing research, partnerships with global tech institutions, partnerships with our local universities, and curricula focused on emerging technologies can help place Ghana on the cutting edge of innovation. Our journey to economic and social transformation lies in embracing knowledge production, defending academic freedom, and preparing for the AI and quantum economy of the future. This is not merely about education. It is about Africa's sovereignty in a rapidly changing world. As the late, great Ghanaian scholar, Dr. Agre once said, if you educate a man, you educate an individual. But if you educate a woman, you educate a nation. Let us now take it further. If you empower a nation with knowledge, you transform a continent. To the government officials watching this, I say to you, silencing voices will not silence the truth. Let us instead invest in making our universities a haven, a hub for free inquiry, critical thinking, and innovation. To our students and academics, I urge you, defend your freedom to think, to question, and to innovate. Our very future as a continent depends on you. Thank you, and may we rise to the challenges of our time. God bless you all. God bless our universities. God bless Ghana, and God bless Africa.